If you're a Christian thinking about getting healthy in the new year, I want to give you my top 5 habits for health and holiness. So for those who don't know me, I'm a father of 4 boys, business lawyer and author, but I'm also a part owner of a gym. And I'm a big believer that the body teaches the soul. And by that, I mean that how we treat ourselves physically affects who we are spiritually and vice versa. So it's much truer to the way God made us to think of our spiritual and physical health together rather than apart, because one affects the other. So here are my top 5 habits for any of you Christians who want to think about health and holiness in the new year. Number 1, breath prayers. Just a few minutes of deep breathing every day has been proven to have all sorts of great health outcomes, particularly mental health outcomes. And that's just breathing deeply in through the nose and out slowly through the mouth for a couple minutes. And a wonderful way to do this is to unite it with prayer. This is typically called breath prayers. And my favorite is "The Lord is my shepherd," breathe in, "I shall not want," breathe out. You can do all kinds of these, but try doing this for just a couple minutes each day, even if it's just on your drive to work or walking around the park. Do it as a way to steward your health and honor the commandment to pray without ceasing. Number 2, it's so simple. Drink more water. This is hands down the easiest thing to do with the highest health impact. Almost nothing is not improved simply by drinking more water. Start the day with a huge glass of water. Keep a huge one at your desk at work or walking around the playground with your kids, and then drink another huge one after dinner. It's so easy, and you will feel so much better because God made you to constantly need water to live. And every time you raise that glass, give a small toast to Jesus, the water of life, knowing that the body teaches the soul, the physical reflects the spiritual, and just as you thirst for water, so your soul longs to be quenched by the love of Jesus. Number 3, do some sort of exercise routine most days. This might be really intense. I love cross training and weightlifting, but you know what is the best for long-term health outcomes? It's also the easiest: walking around outside in God's creation. So it might be intense, or it might be as low a threshold as taking a couple walks around the blocks with your kids in the afternoon. But if you're stuck in bad mental health patterns or bad physical health patterns, you need to move your body to move your mind and move your health. So exercising most days is a way of stewarding and honoring the gift of the body that God gave you. This does not have to be for the purpose of vanity or body image, though your body will change. This is primarily for the purpose of making sure that that body God gave you is fit enough to do what it was made to do, and that is to love and serve other people. So exercise regularly so you might be energetic enough and alert enough to love those around you. Number 4, honor rest. God made us in his image, so we are like God, but we are not God. We have limits. We are creatures of limitation, and we need rest. This is the most obvious limit that we have. And honoring an 8-ish hour sleep window every night, it's different for every person, but honoring a window of sleep around that is one of the most spiritually mature things that you can do in an age of anxiety and busyness. So that means you endeavor to lay down at the same time every night and to get out of bed at the same time every morning. And you do your best to get good rest in between. I know this is not always possible. Life and health and kids interrupt. That's okay, but you can at least aim for a healthy sleep window, even if you miss often. And that simple effort is a way to honor the spirit of Sabbath rest that you are made for. This is a real metaphor for Sabbath and our daily need for sleep. And doing it and honoring a sleep window is a way of expressing gratitude to the God who made you for rest. You can sleep because God doesn't. He watches over you and all his children, and we can rest in that. Last and 5th, honor the world God made by embracing healthy rhythms of fasting, feasting, and clinging to ordinary fare in between. All right, I did a whole other reel on this about eating, what it means to fast, to feast, and to cling to the discipline of ordinary fare in between. So you can go check that out if you want. But put simply, your monthly rhythms should include some kind of fasting where you cling to God in prayer, sometimes of feasting where you enjoy all of the world that God made for your good. But most times in between, and these are most days, we cling to the ordinary discipline of regular healthy fare, regular healthy food. That means eating not whatever you feel like, but rather eating how you want to feel. Because we need to eat healthy whole foods in order to feel well enough to honor that call to love and serve those around us. So I hope these 5 habits help. Remember, you can't start any meaningful new habit without somebody else. So if you want to do any of these, send this reel to somebody else and ask them to do it with you through January. It's the best way to start. You can follow along here if you want to hear more about physical and spiritual disciplines. And remember, the body teaches the soul, so honor God in your bodies and don't separate your physical and spiritual health.